What's good, 9197 gamers? This is your boy Tyler 9197, Man of God 9197. Yes Lord, Black Wolf 9197 or 919. Back with another video for y'all. In this time, your boy's gonna talk about some Overwatch. And before I go ahead and start, y'all, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. I know by the time you're watching this video, Christmas is over with, but I would have done like this, say Merry Christmas, all that type of stuff during my supposedly Christmas stream, because that's what I intended to do. But let's just say things happen in my personal life that I'm not definitely ain't gonna talk about on here. But it killed the mood. It killed a lot of the hype for me to want to do the video stream and stuff like that. But I'm still having a stream for y'all. By the time you see this video, I'm still gonna have a stream to kind of make it up and stuff like that. But besides that, y'all, still overall, for at least for me, Christmas for me, it was okay this year. I really wanted to be better, but like I said, because personal stuff, it kind of soured my Christmas a little bit, but overall it wasn't as bad. But for everybody else though, like, hopefully y'all had a great Christmas and all that, especially for people who do celebrate. If you don't, you just have a good day, so happy holidays to you and stuff like that. And overall, we better go to a whole another year, y'all. Like, that is a real blessing, y'all. We about to go in 2026, which is crazy. It's really crazy to think about. But overall, before I go more into this video, because I know you'll read the title and stuff like that. Before I go into the video, I do want to say, y'all, before we end up going into 2026, I just want to say, y'all, like, what I've especially learned for this year is that you just definitely take care of yourselves. Really take care of yourselves. Take care of your mental. Just really like I said, just take care of yourselves. Like, don't like if you have any type of like distractions or whatever that's really kind of messing up your flow of like just being you and stuff like that, definitely cut that out. Any negativity, cut that out. Like, really just be like, just really just let's say, just get yourself together. Overall, that's what I'm trying to say. Just get yourself together. Like, my thing is, I would say, just going, like, before going this year, is just like, just like I know I can't repeat myself, but it's just really important just to like do like whatever dreams, goals and stuff that you have for yourself. Just go ahead and start doing it. It doesn't matter what it is. Go ahead and start doing it. And just really, like I said, just take care of yourselves. Because, I mean, I know I say that a lot, but the reason why I'm saying it like that, y'all, is just because it's like, for what I learned for this year, like, even for me personally, I had my ups and downs, but overall, I feel like I had a decent year, to be honest. I still feel like I had a decent year, but it definitely had some ups and downs. And what I learned is just that, you, like, whatever goals, dreams, or just your mental whatever, or you feel like you need to talk to somebody, your close friends, like people that people who around you that you're really close with, or like I say, if you're religious like me, you close to the relation with God, definitely focus on that. Really focus on that. Like, really focus on trying to, like, if you feel you need healing, definitely heal. Like, it's just that it's been a lot of stuff been going on, especially this year alone. Been a lot of stuff for a lot of people, but I just want to say that going into next year, I definitely want to say, like, you're not alone. Don't carry your burdens alone. Don't hold no grudges. Don't be holding stuff that's in you that's really hurting you inside. Like, really just let stuff go. Especially religious, connect with God. He's going to heal you. But not only that, like, you have people in your life that's you close with, that that's real true friends, real family, like people who there to help you. Talk to them, connect to them. If you feel like you need a vent, like, definitely do that, because the last thing you want is to hold something inside that is eating you alive and destroying you at the same time. So that's why I always want to say, just, like, really take care of yourselves. That's one thing I learned for this year. Definitely take care of yourself. And going next year, wherever you want to do, just try to just be better than what you are this year. Basically, just try to be better, and it really have positivity going forward. Just have some positivity. Like I said, cut out the negativity, cut out anything that's really you feel like that's just stopping you for achieving what you want to achieve or working towards. So that's kind of advice I want to give it out to the other people, because I felt like for me, for this year, that's kind of how I kind of see it. That's my self-reflection of kind of what I experienced this year. But overall, it's been a good year, and I'm grateful for the people that I do know that care in my life, and of course, God just got me through like He always do. So that's all I can really say for that. But now, enough of that. Let's go ahead and talk about this video, right? So y'all can see the video, me just talk about, if you're new to Overwatch, what role to play, because I didn't really think about it, but it's like it's always somebody new playing Overwatch every day, which I keep on forgetting about that, because I play Overwatch since the tail end of Overwatch 1 before we went to Overwatch 2. And I played it ever since to this point, but of course there was 2 seasons where I just basically been on a hiatus, but I did play them seasons. But of course it was one of those things, like, you know how it's like you play those seasons a little bit, but you didn't really play the game. Like, it was just a hiatus. Like, I was just like, I'm not messing with Overwatch, because at that point, that was before we had like perks and all that other stuff. Then 6v6 came back and all that, so it was like Overwatch at that time for me was more like, I'm just done with the game. Like, but of course, me saying done with the game, I'm not done with the game. It's just, I'm done at that time period playing the game during that time. But of course, obviously, y'all see I am an Overwatch content creator. I make a content for the game, so of course all that changed. But anyway, besides that, okay, so one of my friends from work was telling me that they're starting to play Overwatch, because they never really played the game, and they told me I probably should do a video just talking about what role to play and stuff like that. And at first I was like, I don't really feel like I should do a video like this. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, you know how sometimes you just feel like it's not the idea is bad. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like, do my opinion really matter? What I really got to say about it, kind of thing. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't want to make it sound so bad, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I make a whole video of it, it's like, do people really care what I really got to say, kind of thing? Like, that was kind of what my mindset was, because I was like, I don't really know. But then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, let me say what I got to say, because, because I got to that point where it's like, it don't matter if people agree or disagree what I got to say. I feel like I got good intuition and knowledge from playing this game, this madness of a game. And I feel like I can say what I want to say, and I feel like for the most part, some people could agree or may disagree, but it don't matter. I feel like, shoot, this is my content. Let me talk about Overwatch. Let me go ahead, give you my opinion, my thought process and stuff. But I do want to let y'all know this. So really, for Overwatch, I've been mainly playing on console, so I've been playing mainly on my Xbox. But I transitioned now to Overwatch on PC. So of course, if you're a PC player, you're gonna see Tyler 997 a lot, obviously. So you're gonna see me quite a bit. So I definitely moved on the PC side. So I know it's gonna be a little bit different, a lot more sweatier, blah blah blah. But I do feel like the games are a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie. Compared to when I was playing on console, the games could be a little better on PC. I'm not gonna lie. But besides that, what I gotta say for what to me, what the roles mean in the game for somebody who just want to get into Overwatch and stuff like that. And so I felt like, you know what? Let me go ahead and make this video. Let me just go ahead and just make the video, give my thoughts and stuff. And I feel like a lot of people who may be new to Overwatch, or probably played a little bit or just heard about it, might be interested to want to try out the game, because I feel like Overwatch is a fun game. It's a very sweaty game, but it's a very fun game. But I feel like the most fun you can have out of this game is when it comes down to it, like, what role do you want to play? That's where it comes down for me. Like, what role do you want to play? Because from tank, DPS, and support, which one you feel like you're gonna have the most fun playing. Because the reason why I feel like that's the most important, because I feel like you need to have a main role in this game of what you like, and then like you have the secondary role basically. So like for me, if you guys know, for me, I'm a tank main, so I prioritize tank majority, but my secondary is support, which I feel like that's really important. At least bare minimum. I feel like wherever, if you would take DPS, your secondary should be support, or you a main support, then you gotta have a secondary, either maybe tank or DPS, like vice versa, kind of like that basically. I just feel like the reason why you should have your main role, wherever one you want to play. Because before I explain what I feel like the roles mean in the game, I feel like it's important because that's the value in the game where you're gonna have the most fun, is based on the role that you're gonna enjoy the most playing. So for me, like, first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about tank. So for me, how I view the tank role is literally you are the shield, the glue of the team that is gonna help advance your team to go into the fight, to go for victory. Like you say, you are important. Regardless how people may trash tanks or whatever, or if you are a tank player, I salute to you. Especially you play 5v5, because I'm like, look, listen, I hate 5v5, but I do like the balance because of the role queue. Like I said, I'm big on role queue. I know some people are not, but for me, I'm big on role queue, because 6v6 OVQ, I love the mode, but at the same time, man, it'd be a lot sometimes. It'd be a lot. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It'd be a lot. But overall, what the tank role means to me is like your job. Like the job overall, what it means to be a tank player is basically your job is to mitigate the damage, meaning you are the punching bag in a sense. Yes, you need to create space. Yes, you need to do some damage and stuff and get your kills, but like I said, the KD is not the most important. In my opinion, it's not the most important. It's about you mitigating as much damage as possible, so for your DPS and supports to not only support you, but they're able to fight, and you're pushing the charge to go forward. Either you do it like a payload or control, and you create that space that your team can all fight together and go based off your lead, because at the end of the day, you are the leader. Like, you know what I'm saying? Regardless how people feel about these tanks, some people feel like, oh, these tanks don't mean nothing, this, that, and the third, but they are important, because regardless, if you're DPS support, you are squishies. That's the reality of it. The tanks are the ones that's gonna take most of the damage in the game, and you want to have good tanks. I mean, like I said, you don't gotta be the best of the world, but you definitely gotta understand, as a tank player, you gotta understand like my mindset is like, I play to want to win the game. I'm not playing to get my kills like that. I mean, I do care about my stats to a certain extent, because to make sure I'm doing my job. But overall, that should not be your main. That shouldn't be your main objective. Your main objective should be to win the game. Like, focus on winning the game, and that's going based on the characters you play, blah blah blah, which I'm not going to go into that in this video. This is just more so me talk about the role, what it means to me if you playing this role in this game, especially if you're going to be new to Overwatch. But like I said, it is a big responsibility, because like I said, teams aren't going to jump you. You are a target. But if your team's working along with you for your DPS support to help you, you're going to be fine. But it's definitely a lot of responsibility, definitely a lot of work. And I understand why some people don't want to really play tank, because it do be a lot. Compared to playing DPS and support, you're more lenient on those roles. Not to say they're not as hard, but being a tank player is definitely a lot. And you are a tank main like me, I salute to all y'all, because we do a lot. We do a lot of work. But then there's some bad tanks, and yeah, I mean, that might not be a role, but overall, like, as long you trying to, I feel like as long you understand that you're there to try to win, do what you got to do, and you're really trying to secure the win as much, like, that's your main goal, that's the most important. So protect your team and try to win. Basically, that's the main point. All right, so now let me go ahead and talk about DPS, what it means to be a DPS player. So it could be a lot of things. Like, and this is, like I said, this is my mindset is more so on as a tank player's perspective. I look at the other two roles, and of course me as a player, what I feel like these roles mean. So for DPS for me is, when I look at it, is not is really. I mean, yeah, your job is to do damage. Like, that's reality. You gotta do damage, a lot of damage. But it's not. But I understand it's not just about just doing damage, but that is important because you need to help out. But I feel like with a DPS, I feel like with the role, I feel like DPS, the role means to me is that your job is to really back up, be the backup. It's like you're kind of in the middle ground, basically. Your job is to back up your tank and back up your supports. But really, I feel like your job is to keep in line of the blind side and the blind sides of what your tank is not seeing, that you could watch out for that in the blind spots for your supports as well. Because it's like, I feel like with DPS, it's like, yes, your job is to do damage, get your kills and stuff, but at the same time, I feel like your job is to also accommodate what your tank is playing as well. I mean, I know it don't gotta work all the time like that, but I feel like wherever, like for example, say like, I'm trying to think, say like a map, I'll say, okay, we'll say Ilios. That's the one I can just think of on top of my head right now. Say like Ilios, for example, and say like I'm playing Reinhardt. My thing is, if you're playing two sniper characters on the maps, which I ain't say, because I know there's some spots that like sniper could work, right? That's not what I'm trying to say, but I'm saying like if you're DPS and both of your characters are both like sniper type characters, right? Say like a Hanzo and a Widow, and I'm playing Reinhardt, but their team got mid-range to maybe long-range characters that could go into the fight, like fighting close. But if you're playing Hanzo and Widow, you're like, y'all fighting for range. But for me, I'm fighting in the front lines, fighting like whatever, maybe like a Sigma or something like that. It's gonna be a lot difficult for me as a Reinhardt, man, if both my DPS are both range and they're not there to kind of help me back up, especially because I'm going based off the mindset of like 5v5, just structure wise. Because usually I do play 6v6, but I'm thinking in my mindset as a 5v5, playing 5v5 as the only tank. So that's how I'm viewing it. So it's like, when you play characters like that, you're not helping me as a tank, and you're making my job a lot harder because you're not backing me up. It's like, yes, even though as a tank, I'm there to mitigate the damage. I'm there to create space. I'm there to give the DPS and supports opportunity to fight. But at the same time, the tank is not it's not a raid boss. Like, you know what I'm saying? A tank can still die just as quick for just get a jump. So it's like, that's what I feel like with DPS players. It's like, whoever you play, you really gotta be there to really help out the tank, but not only helping the tank, watch out for your supports, because if you care about heals, you should care about your supports as well. So it's like, I feel like DPS are there to like take care of the blind spots that the tanks may not see, the supports may not be seeing, and just overall like they're just the middle ground. I feel like in that balance of where it's like they could also kind of be like, in a sense, like how the tanks will be like create space, like really advance the fight, but also turn the tide of the fight as well. So it's like, that's kind of where I kind of feel like with DPS. I know I kind of feel like I'm just going kind of ramble a little bit with that one, but that's kind of where I feel like with DPS players and just in general, is that it's like you're in the middle ground in the team where you are really just as important like the other roles, but it's more so of like observing your have your awareness, look for the blind spots your team's not seeing, find openings so that can help out your team, and just overall try not to die as much. I think that's the best way I can really say about DPS. Like, just don't try to die as much. But like, so overall, like I said, at least for me, DPS is my least played role in the game, just because I feel like the problem with like hero shooters in general, like the characters that people want to play the most are literally in the DPS category, which I get it, I understand it, because sometimes sometimes you just want to play damage. You don't want to be a tank. You don't want to be a support. Like, you just feel like it's just easier just to do damage and, kind of play who you want to play. Which I understand that. I'm not knocking it, but I feel like because of that reason, if you are going to play them roles, still be smart about, if you're going to be a DPS main, be smart about who you're playing and how you're helping out your team more so than worry about your KD. So that's kind of where I'm kind of at with DPS players. But like for me, I just feel like DPS is my least play role because I feel like tanks and supports are way more important than most of DPS. But I'm not saying DPS don't matter, because they definitely do matter, because you need DPS players. But still, just overall, I'm just saying, if you be a DPS player, just understand about whoever you're playing on your role for DPS. Really care about your team. Like, really care about helping your team out and stuff. Like I said, them blind spots and things like that the tank and supports are not seeing, and then, or the openings that you can allow your team to advance more into the fights and to win the fights. And of course, like I said, just do more damage. Like that, that's basically all I can say for that for DPS. Now, the last role to talk about is support. So support. So this is the one that I feel like a lot of this is the one that I had to say about the role of support, which I feel like a lot of people get the support role confused a lot, which I be hearing a lot. Like, for example, like, I feel like I'm sick and tired that people keep on saying support are just healers. Y'all, that annoys me the most about playing support, or like for people who are playing support players, that people are saying they're just healers. It's like, y'all, so like, it does frustrate me, because it's like, y'all gotta understand that supports are not just healers. Yes, they are there to heal the team. That is their primary job, to keep the teams alive in the fight. But that's not what a support is. It's not just a heal bot. That is not what a support is. To me, a support is the middle ground of a kind of a DPS, but the one that can actually heal the team at the same time. So I feel like if you want to be a support main and you want to play support, you need to understand 100% that you got to be very, 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 very flexible in your role. And what I mean by that, I mean that you got to know when to fight and when to heal. When you fight and when you heal, it's not one or the other. Like, when you're playing support, you shouldn't just feel like you're playing just to be just straight up DPS, or you just only healing. Like, for example, like Zen, you don't want to just be just the only DPS Zen and no heals. And then, or more Mercy, just be 100% heal bot. But then again, I know that's kind of maybe a bad comparison a little bit, just because Zen technically is just right at DPS. He got a little bit of healing, and then and besides his ult and the Harmony Orb, and then Mercy basically a heal bot. But that doesn't mean she can't do no damage, even though that should not be your main thing for Mercy. But you get my point, though. Like, you gotta learn how to be flexible of knowing when to do damage and when to heal. And I feel like a lot of people, when they play support, they feel like, or people who don't want to play support, they feel like, I'm just gonna heal my team all the time, I'm just gonna be heal bot. But no, I feel like a lot of people don't understand, like, support is definitely one of the most supported roles in the game. Not only just for the healing the team part, it's the fact that, like, the supports is, like I say, you are the middle ground of being like a DPS and like a DPS, and then the support aspect of just healing. Like, you could change the tide of the fight based on what your actions as a team. Like, you can enable your team to really advance in the fight and like, and really like engage and feel like they're unkillable. Like I said, for example, like, if you have a Sigma on your team and you have these two supports, like whoever, let me say, like maybe like a Mercy and like an Ana, something like that, right? if they keep his Sigma alive, Sigma is not dying, and he already has the best survivability in the tank role in general. So when you see something like that, and you feel like, man, why does tank ain't dying? Why is tank ain't dying? Or why the DPS ain't dying? Y'all, like, supports really could change the tide of the fight, and I feel like they are probably like I would say they probably honestly probably the one of the most hardest roles in the game. I'm to be honest, because I feel like yes, tank can be just as stressful, y'all, but being a support player, especially if you want to be a support main, is a very big responsibility. Because like I said, you're trying to keep the team alive, but also you're fighting at the same time. It's like you have to be you gotta really learn how to multitask a lot as a support player. Like you just can't be one way or another, or just only damage, only healing. No, you gotta learn based on the action of your fight, like when to do this, when to do that, when to do this, when to do that. It's a lot of multitasking playing that role, and it's a lot, really a lot to think about. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really a lot to think about. But I really feel like you feel more rewarded as a support player, because it's like if you're doing your job right, you could get your wins in the game and stuff like that. And I know some people could say, like, you know, when you're trying to climb up the ranks, it's kind of easier playing support. But I mean, obviously, it's not necessarily easy. But if you know how you do your job and your team plays well, you could rank up a lot quicker than the other two roles combined. But doesn't mean that's not a hard role in general. Like, I do feel like support has to be like the hardest role in the game, just for the factor of like whoever you're playing, who, you know, you're basically your comms, so like your team, like what the composition y'all got going on and stuff like that. But overall, like, being a support player, even for me playing secondary support, it's like I still gotta give my respect to the support players, because especially your really good ones, because at the end of the day, your job is difficult. And then of course, like, even me as a tank player, my job is difficult, but it's like it's not as difficult compared to what support gotta deal with, because support gotta really do a lot, not only for damage, but they also gotta heal and all that stuff. It really just, it's like you really gotta worry about your team a lot more so than say like a tank. Me, if they get tank, I just gotta take a brute of the damage, and it'd be a lot of like trying to mitigate as much damage as possible in the fights and stuff, and then trying to like, you know, the responsibility is definitely there for both roles. And then, like I said, even for DPS, I may seem like DPS is like the least role, but it's like it's really not. It just, I feel like with people who play DPS, they only playing it because they feel like, oh, that's just the easy role to play characters just to do damage. It's like, yes, but then again, no, because it still takes skill based on the characters you pick in that role. But I do feel like still tank and support are mostly the most important roles in the game. But of course, DPS just as important too, because it's a balance thing. You know, it's a balance thing. So yeah. But overall, that's kind of like my take of the three roles, like what they mean to me and like what they are and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, to be honest, y'all. That's really about it I can really say. I would say, before I end this video, y'all, I do want to say, like, once again, kind of like what I said in the beginning, y'all, like, we about to go to a whole nother year. And I just want to say that, you know, for everybody that needs to hear this, that's, you know, probably going through something or this and that this year, or your year going good, and, you know, just based on encouragement, that's basically what I'm trying to say. Trying to give y'all some encouragement, just saying, like, going into next year, y'all, have a clean slate, have, you know, whatever the mindset you have that's, you know, that's gonna keep you in peace and focus, and like really just like, I guess, like, eager to do something different, you know what I'm saying, like really something that you're excited about or something like that. Like, go for that, you know what I'm saying. Like, that's kind of what I'm gonna say. Just definitely do that. Like, really have really a positive outlook in life going into next year, because I mean, let's be real, things get, every year definitely get harder and harder, and then the world itself is a lot of stuff going on. But I feel like definitely be positive, definitely check on your mental, take breaks, relax, all that type of stuff, because I mean, everybody going through something, but you don't have to take carry no type of burdens alone. And that's basically what I'm trying to say. Like, don't carry burdens alone. Or stuff that you feel like it's eating you alive. You feel like you need to talk to somebody. If you know, like I said, you're definitely religious, connect with God. Christ is there for you. But if there's people in your life that you trust, that's really you really close with, that's willing to hear you out, vent to them, because at the end of the day, like, sometimes they can be the best therapists. Believe it or not, they could be the best therapist than going to an actual therapist. But besides that, like I said before, just take care of yourselves, y'all. I said that a lot, but that's really all I can really say. Just take care of yourselves. But like I said, that's it for the video, y'all. I appreciate all y'all for watching this video. I just want to say, please go ahead, hit the like, follow, subscribe. And I say this all to my viewers. I'm trying to get to 500 subs before the end of this year, which I feel like it may or may not happen. But I mean, I'm not trying to be negative about it, but it's like, may not happen, but that's cool, But still, I still gotta say it anyway, because we still got some time. So, so I'm trying to get 500 this year. I'm trying to hit the 1,000 subs so I can do this full time for y'all, and of course hit the bell so you be notified of my latest stream and upcoming videos. And by the time you're seeing this, y'all, I'm more likely gonna do my supposedly Christmas stream that I didn't get a chance to do, like I said, because of some personal stuff, so I didn't get a chance to do it. But even still, it's still like I still need to go ahead and do my placing matches and stuff like that on Overwatch. And of course, like I said, it's gonna be on PC, so definitely watch me try to get cracked on PC, basically. Like, that's basically I can say on Overwatch. But overall, like I said, that's it though. Alright guys, I love y'all. Peace. 9197 out.